Hey guys, it's your boy JT and welcome back to another episode of South Stand Signing, the series where we go through every transfer rumour linked with the beautiful whites of Leeds United, and we have a little talk. A few days we just seen Leeds miss out on Conor Gallagher, Yangel Herrera and OBrien touted as key targets for that midfield position. Tottenham Hotspur not only potentially stealing Adama Traore from us, but also trying to take our number 9 in the process. And a Real Madrid Champions League winning superstar in search for pastures green, potentially headed on his way to Elland Road. All of that and more coming at you after the break. And our first story of the day comes from Yangel Herrera. Yet again, it revolves around that man, Conor Gallagher, the man who set his sights away from Elland Road and has secured himself a loan deal at Crystal Palace. As a result of that, Leeds have been looking around for someone to fill the void, to fill the gap of Conor Gallagher, and that man could have just been found in the 23-year-old Venezuelan midfielder Yangel Herrera. Now, of course, the Venezuelan spent last year on loan from Manchester City, and he's gonna cost quite a few dollars. How many dollars, you may ask? Well, apparently the valuation they're looking at is set to be around £20 million, 20 whole million smackaroonies, and it is that valuation that have apparently driven Atletico Madrid away from securing his purchase. Now, what can he do, this Yangel Herrera geezer? Well, I'll tell you what he can do. He can pitch in with goals and he can pitch in with assists, of course, getting 8 goals and 2 assists in 46 La Liga appearances last season, coming from that deep central midfield position, which is pretty impressive, and you can only presume that those numbers are going to increase in a more attacking, free-flowing side like Leeds United. I mean, just look at Stuart Dallas. The guy was never necessarily known for his goals. The guy's been playing left back and central midfield a lot, and he pitched in with 7 goals last season. So it is clear to see how these industrial players can develop their numbers under this side, and I'm expecting at least 10 goals next year if we do manage to sign him. Not only that, but the guy has played right back quite a lot last year. He's shown that he's versatile enough to go there, and to be honest, that's actually perfect if you ask me. We've already seen how BIELSA likes to transition players between central midfield and fullback. We saw it a hell of a lot with Stuart Dallas last year, and with Luke Ayling getting older, he's prone to some injuries coming around the corner. He's 30 years of age now, and is Cody Drama necessarily ready to fill that position? I'm not so sure that he is. I'm not so sure that Bielsa's not going to want another year of development under Sam Jackson before we start to see Cody Drama pushed into that first team. So in the interim, Yangel Herrera could be the perfect substitute to bring in there if there is a problem with Luke Ayling. Maybe he gets suspended for doing too many of those Ayling flops. Maybe he just gets injured. But who knows? All I do know is that there is going to come a time and a place where we do need that backup right back, and Yangel Herrera could fit in there perfectly. And for all of those reasons combined, for me, it is looking like a big fat cop. And moving on to our next story, we're going to be talking about the main man, Lewis O'Brien from Huddersfield Town. Much like the aforementioned Yangel Herrera, this comes swiftly after Conor Gallagher rejected Leeds United to join Crystal Palace on loan. Now, could Lewis O'Brien be the man to fill that midfield position out for the Whites? The deal is currently stalled because they want more money. Apparently, Leeds are not willing to meet that £10 million valuation that Huddersfield have slapped on him, and instead Victor Orta is trying to barter it down, offering some swap deals. Now, as to which players he's offering to swap, it is yet unconfirmed. However, you can only presume it will be either some youth players or some second string players. Maybe an Adam Forshaw could be heading in their direction. But the thing with this guy is, as Danny Mills came out himself and said, the guy is going to have to do a lot more to improve and to prove that he is worth a starting position in this Leeds United side. And obviously, it seems like another one of those signings where they expect him to come in under Marcelo Bielsa's tutelage and to have Bielsa improve him into becoming a top Premier League player. Now, for me, that is the exact reason why I'm a bit too hesitant about this deal. He's another championship player, and don't get me wrong, we've seen a lot of players come from the championship proven to be top draw. I mean, just look at Calvin Phillips, Ivan Toney, and Ollie Watkins, to name a few. However, I don't really want to be buying another youth player in the hopes that he can develop. I want to be buying a top draw player, which is why I wasn't really too on board with Conor Gallagher in the first place, if I'm really honest. So for me, it's gonna have to be a drop. Now, whilst we're looking at all these signings we could get, we do have to look at a potential departure, and for me, this one has come completely out of the blue, and it is that Tottenham Hotspur are reportedly setting their sights on Patrick Bamford. I know, who would have thought it last year that Tottenham Hotspur would be coming in for Patrick Bamford, but of course this does come after the news that Harry Kane has now missed 2 training sessions for the Lily Whites in hopes of securing his transfer over to Manchester City, and they have been told to consider Patrick Bamfordinho as a potential replacement. Now, for me, this is about as thin as an OCB Rizzler paper. There is no chance in hell that this is gonna happen. No chance in hell that Patrick Bamford would want this to happen. I mean, why would he want to go to Nuno Espirito Santo when he's already developing under Marcelo Bielsa? He's already guaranteed first team playing time, and he's in a side that is going to use him as the main man to potentially push towards European football. It makes absolutely no sense to me. It is a completely out of the blue transfer, so for me, it is nothing more than a drop. And keeping along the theme of Tottenham Hotspur have shown heavy interest in Leeds' transfer target Adama Traore. Adama Traore is a person that we've been looking at for the past year, trying to secure his signature, but now that Nuno Espirito Santo has moved over to Tottenham, that could potentially edge him closer to move over there instead of Elland Road, and as a result of that, Leeds have had to look elsewhere to find it, and the name we've landed on is of course the 26-year-old Marco Asensio, the Champions League winner, the Champions League finalist goal scorer, of course scoring in that 4-1 Champions League final victory against Juventus, coming off the bench just 10 minutes earlier. The guy is an absolute guaranteed certified baller, and to be honest, if you ask me, if I could choose between Adama Traore and Marco Asensio, I'm probably edging towards Asensio. The skill and the flair, the close control, the tightness, the agility, and most importantly, the finishing that he has, the precision and accuracy he gets on his long range drives is absolutely out of this world. And if there's one thing we need to work on as a club, it is those long range strikes. Mateusz Klich is someone for us who can score those long range goals, as well as Stuart Dallas, but he's not shooting enough. Mateusz Klich, Stuart Dallas, while he is someone who pops off a lot of shots, a lot of them go wayward sometimes, and it never hurts to have one more player who has that in his arsenal, and oh boy does he have that in his arsenal. Could you imagine sliding Asensio into that midfield position, potentially out wide if you're going to give Jack Harrison a rest, or maybe if you're going to give RAPHINHA a rest, or if you're going to move RAPHINHA more central? It just opens up so many available positions to us, so many changes of style, so many changes of tactics. Now for me, I don't know if we are going to be able to get him, because the rumor is that he is going to be vying for that same position as Jack Harrison, and he is going to be competing with him to push him out of the squad. We've already seen how much Bielsa rates Jack Harrison. I personally rate Jack Harrison to go all the way to the tippity top. He's got the right mentality, the right work ethic, the right drive, and for me, although I would really like Marco Asensio, it does seem like one that is just a bit too far away to get. So for me, unfortunately, it is with heavy heart that I do have to let you know that it is going to be, unfortunately, a drop.